Everybody, welcome back to Ox Talks. Appreciate you watching the show today. Please share the videos, as I always humbly ask, and appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Before I get into the main topic that I want to share some thoughts with you on today, just want to cover a couple of the important economic data points that came out today I think is important. Number one, the Bureau of Labor Statistics jobs report came out today, the BS from the BLS, and of course, jobs were beat all high estimates at 227,000 jobs evidently were added. And so, of course, you get the mainstream media saying, "Oh, the jobs report was a blowout." But when you dig a couple levels below the surface, you realize a couple things that are not so good. Number one, unemployment in this country rose from 4.1% to 4.2%. Now, you might say, well, that's no big deal, but it is a big deal because there are more unemployed people across this country. I've done videos over the past week on the bleak picture with jobs. And I've been getting a lot of comments from people about how they have either themselves or family or loved ones or good friends have lost jobs and are having a very, very difficult time replacing those jobs right now. So unemployment has ticked up. And the annual wage growth is flat at 4%, okay? So it says this indicates wage growth pressures remain. So wages are flat. But what isn't flat is inflationary pressures, food costs, insurance costs, medical costs, healthcare costs, auto costs, repair things. We get to veterinary bills and medical things are all going up. Okay, so inflation continues to hit Americans' pocketbooks when wages are not doing anything. They're flat. Second, and by the way, that was data I pulled off of Zero Hedge. Its coverage of the jobs numbers today. Just real quickly, here's the breakdown of the jobs that were created. Healthcare added 54,000 jobs in November, it says, and that was from home health care services and nurses. I think that's great. We need more nurses, and God bless you guys that do that line of work. You're amazing. Employment in leisure and hospitality trended 53,000 jobs. That means we have a lot more waiters and waitresses and bartenders entering the workforce. And of course, government employees continued to trend upwards, adding 33,000 and then 32,000 in transportation equipment manufacturing, reflecting return of workers who were on strike. So quickly, that's the breakdown, the jobs number. Second quick article I want to share with you out of The Sun. The Walmart CEO has come out and issued a grim warning for shoppers in 2025. And admits he's disappointed, but insists 2 items will drop in cost. A lead exec, Doug McMillon, admitted he was disappointed by persistent inflationary costs. Okay? And he says grocery prices will likely remain the same in 2025 because of inflation. But he hopes that milk and eggs will be cheaper in the coming months. Although the future of product costs looks unpredictable, according to McMillan, he admitted that price tags likely won't budge next year at all. Okay, so for those of you that think that things are getting better in that front and that your food costs are going to come down, you better plan accordingly, because according to this guy, it's not going to happen. He says, I don't know what the whole year is going to look like. He said at the 2024 Morgan Stanley Global Consumer and Retail Conference, I hope and think it could get better. I hope, and it could. Okay, that means that he has no indication that it's going to, as these commodities adjust, some of them. He says he's disappointed by inflation rates, which haven't fallen as far as tight wallet consumers have hoped. Eggs and dairy are once again driving up grocery haul prices as the average prices skyrocketed in November after a monetary lull. Isn't the Fed cutting rates because they're telling us that inflation is under control? Last month, the average carton of eggs was an eye-watering $3.37, and wholesale milk prices skyrocketed 75 cents in the past year to 23.05 per hundredweight, according to Agricultural Dive. Macmillan believes that these items will level out in 2025. Shoppers should expect packaged and processed food items to remain at around the same mark in the coming year, according to Walmart's CEO. So there's your economic data for the day, okay? And and none of it really is positive, okay? You have unemployment going up. You have people that are unemployed in this country, cannot find work, are struggling to put food on the table. And now we're being told by the CEO of one of the largest retailers in the country that, well, guess what? Food costs, for the most part, are not going to be coming down in 2025. Let me shift to I saw a comment this morning when I was going through comments from yesterday's video. And I want to read you the comment, and then we're going to discuss the issue. It has to do with our pets, okay, our beloved cats, dogs, birds, fish, whatever your choice of pet or pets is, okay? But it's an important topic that comes up a lot, and it's been coming up a lot in my life recently with communication with family and friends. So this is a comment that I got from Kathy. And Kathy says, another expensive thing to afford is veterinary care for our pets. The vets, the doctors, she says, the vets, the doctors, lawyers, sorry, Matt, and all those who make great money don't care or understand that everyone beneath them are really screwed right now. I took my senior dog in today to schedule his next procedures, but I can't keep doing this. I won't put him down, she says. I refused to do that. I had to explain to the vet he can't pad my bill. I don't want unnecessary tests, x-rays, or fluff. Just do the bare minimum to keep him going. And then she has a little sideways face and it says sigh. So that is from Kathy. And I wrote her and said I'm going to share the comment today and discuss this topic of the pets, okay? We know they're like our kids. We have a family dog. About 2.5 years ago, our family dog died. He was a Cavalier King Charles, and he had some very unexpected issues come up. We didn't even know he had a heart valve problem. He unexpectedly started getting very, very sick, took him into the vet, and anyway, long story short, within 24 hours, he had passed away. From an undisclosed heart condition. Really, really sad, very traumatic for the family and for our kids. But the vet bill was $6,000 in 24 hours, okay? And so I think we need to understand and appreciate, all of us are animal lovers, that taking on a pet, a family pet, adopting a pet, whatever it is, helping with maybe a neighbor's pet or a family member that's passed away or can't no longer help out, taking on this is a financial, okay, it's an emotional responsibility, of course, but it's also a financial commitment. And those of you that are struggling, okay, to put food on the table, those of you that are struggling to find work, please leave me your comments below. It is something that you can really get yourself into financial distress. Was that $6,000 bill? It was obviously a big deal for us. We're able to afford it, but for many families, I mean, a $6,000 unexpected expense could literally bankrupt them. Okay. Or cause them to default on other obligations, right? We know most people in this country don't have $400 saved up for an emergency. And I will tell you this, and as you can all probably attest, these veterinary cost expenses are literally out of control, okay? And Kathy says in her comment about padding the bill, I have no doubt some of this stuff is a racket. These veterinary companies, and if you're a vet out there, I'm not beating up necessarily on a particular well, I kind of am, because it's become a situation where they understand they can pull on people's heartstrings with their pets. They're like their children, okay? In some respects, pets are people's children. My brother doesn't have any kids, but they have, 3 dogs and they have like 5 cats, and that is their family, okay? So the vets know this, all right? They understand this, and they pull on the heartstrings, And I'm not going to say all, but some of them are recommending things that certainly are not necessary, or needed. And whether it's even an emergency or not, you have to be very, very careful. And several years ago, I represented a large veterinary business operation out here in my local area, and the vets sold the business, and these guys were all multi-millionaires. The dollars that this business brought in on a sale was insane. Okay, and the revenues they were doing on a monthly basis was crazy. They were making more than most medical doctors. Okay, so I've seen that. I've seen the books of some of these companies, and you just have to be very, very careful because, like Kathy has said, people don't want to make a difficult choice to either get rid of an animal or, let's say, a pet that is struggling and maybe doesn't even have quality of life anymore, to make that decision to put them down. And it's very, very, very difficult. I've had to do that as well years ago with a golden retriever of mine named Tucker, that his hips gave out, and we had to make that decision because he no longer could move. Okay, but I'm addressing this from the economic and financial struggle perspective today. I'm going a little bit long, but it's something that you guys should be very, very careful of. Think it through before you jump into the obligation. Or obviously, if you've got plenty of money, you have jobs that are well paying and they're secure, operative word secure, and you can afford something happen. You can afford, just the ongoing maintenance costs. My mom has 2 cats and they require this special food. She gets them this special kitty litter, and I don't know, it's $100, $200 a month at least, I think, just for that. She really can't afford it. Most of her kids, including myself, are paying for that every month for her. So again, I'd love to hear your comments. What are you guys experiencing with your pet care costs, ongoing maintenance, and of course the unforeseen emergency expenses, which can literally wreck you? That is the thumbnail for the video today. A friend of mine who I know, recently her dog got really, really sick, and the dog survived, but I think she got hit with something like close to $20,000 or something of credit card bills that she had to rack up to pay for the expenses. So that's what's happening. It's people that don't have the money in the bank to pay for the expense are having to resort to credit cards, and they're taking on debt that, for a lot of these people, they're never going to be able to pay it off. They're never going to get out from under that debt. I know it's a catch-22. I know with your animals, been there, done that. It's a decision you believe you have to make, but it's something you have to think about, hopefully, before you get into a situation with, let's say, multiple animals or adopting animals. It can start to get extremely burdensome. All right. So with that being said, I hope you found the topic today helpful or insightful. Again, I'd love to hear your comments. Please feel free to share them with me. So, animal lover here, and I'm not, again, beating up on veterinarians per se, but it has become a bit of a racket right now. So just be very, very careful. Hope you guys are using scrupulous, good vets, and even with that, it just the costs of caring for these animals, especially with emergency medicine for them, is out of control. Thanks for watching. Okay, talk to y'all soon. Bye.